What's up? It's Chad here. I was thinking about a funny story the other day, so I figured I'd just go ahead and tell it. Let's see, I'd been on a fruit and vegetable diet for about a year and a half, and the time I was working at a call center for an insurance company. I was a supervisor there, and what it basically was like doctors would call up about patients' benefits and we'd explain it. So anyways, my desk was positioned near a copying machine, and the copier was being used that day a lot, and you know how they give off a funky smell. So anyways, I didn't really think much of it, but alright, so copier was getting used for a couple hours, did my thing at work, and I went home, and I would ride my bike to and from work, and it was a 20-mile ride each way. So I rode my bike home, and I felt perfectly fine. Got home, made myself some zucchini pasta. Now I was sitting down to eating it, and I took a couple bites, and it just absolutely tasted horrible. So I thought that the tomatoes had gone bad. So I just went and I grabbed myself some dates. Sat down, started eating dates, and I noticed they tasted horrible too. And as I come to this realization, my heart starts to pound. And so I went and I sat on my couch. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. And my heart starts pounding more and more and more, and I could feel a little bit of sweat coming up on my brow. And then all of a sudden, all I could taste was like the scent of the copying machine in my mouth, and just coming out of my nose, and it was just coming out of my pores, like, because I was sweating. And it was, I mean, I only link it to, since following a fruit and vegetable based diet, the digestion load on your body is lightened up tremendously. And as a result of that, your body has the ability to clean itself out a little bit more efficiently. So, I had that stuff in me for, a couple hours. My body just kicked it right out. And it was from that day forward that I've become a lot more sensitive to environmental toxins and, pesticides, things on food. And I mean, when I moved out of that particular apartment, my mom had come and helped clean up, and she used a bunch of Mr. Clean stuff and all of that. I try to just, when I clean in my place, I try to just use vinegar and baking soda, stuff like that. But so we cleaned the place up and I moved out, and the next day when I woke up, I wasn't wearing any of the clothes that I had been wearing the day before, and I walked up to my wife, and she took one sniff of me and then pointed out that I smelled like orange scented Mr. Clean. And that particular morning I wasn't feeling too hot, and once again my body was just kicking that out. And I've actually had the question posed to me, is it really good to be that sensitive to environmental toxins? And to some degree, if you can still function, I'd say yeah, it certainly is, because the fact that I can't deal with certain toxins in the air, or that if I eat certain foods they make me sick, that's kind of a hint that maybe the human being shouldn't really be taking that stuff into their system. So, I mean, there have been people I've heard of that have gotten so sensitive that, yeah, they really have a hard time functioning. Do I think it's good to let yourself get to that level? I don't know. I mean, it's obviously up to the individual, and I've never experienced it at that level, so if I ever do, I'll give you some feedback on it. But anyways, just thought of that story, so I figured I'd go ahead and tell it. Get out there, have some fun. Take a walk in nature today if you can. Take it easy.